He's currently in Thailand, and he's talking about why men don't really feel appreciated in America. He does talk about it more towards black men and black women. But we're going to let him have the conversation here as he walks through Thailand. And he says why men feel more appreciated by women in Thailand. So we're going to let him talk, and we're going to talk about this. So here we go.
And got a little bit of food to eat. I should have brought you guys in there for that as well, just so you could see like what it was that I was eating, the cost of what it was I was eating. And also being in there reminded me as to why I'm in so much love with this place right now. And it is the niceness of the people, the genuineness of the people. I wish I could have showed you like the behavior of like the waitress, right? Just so comforting, so humble, you know, so present, so feminine. Like she's like this big, tiny little lady, and so like overly accommodating. It just reminded me, right? Like when I'm back home in the States, I don't feel that shit, especially in goddamn Atlanta. Shit, most of the time you go up in there, they make it feel bad for asking them for shit. And I know y'all been experiencing that, and I hate to say it. Actually, no, fuck it, I don't hate to say it. The majority of this is the black women in Atlanta. Some of the worst fucking servers. No wonder the black men just be complaining so much about the treatment. Even from a service perspective, it's just fucking terrible. Not all. But the MTRs know exactly the type and the behavior that it is that I am talking about. Anyway, actually, one of the complaints that places in the East like this get, such as a Thailand, is that it's a lot slower. Okay, it's a lot. But here's the thing. I don't know necessarily if that slowness is an indication of incompetence. Perhaps the pace that they are going is the pace that we need to go. Perhaps slowing down, being patient. Thank you, boss. He waited for me to cross the street as opposed to running me off the road. Perhaps the pace of movement is what we need. Stress is one of the #1 killers of human beings because that stress can lead to a wide variety of things. You know, stress may lead to you forming addiction, right? Whether it be a drug addiction or alcohol addiction, which then will lead to something more morbid happening to you within your life. Stress can also lead to inflammation, okay? And that inflammation can lead to a bunch of other health problems, okay? But a lot of that stress is because of the pace, the acceleration, the grind set culture, the get it about the mud culture, the keeping up with the Joneses culture, the, oh, what you got on culture. It's bullshit. The majority of that, even when I was in the States, I was never a custom or a lemming to that bullshit. Most of the time, okay? But anyway, there's a couple of things in the, oh shit, that looks good as shit. Look at it. This one I also love too. All right, you just walking up on the street, you see something healthy, and I'm like, I kind of want to make me a purchase. Hello. You want to say hello? Hi, hi. How do you say hello in Thai? How do you say hello in Thai? How do you say hello in Thai? Sarika. How you say? Sawatika. Ah, thank you. Hopefully I said that right. I'm from New York originally. Yeah, I'm from New York. And I'm thirsty. I was going to get a schmovie. Is that cool? I was going to get a schmovie. Is that cool? All right. Thank you.
So as you see, MTR is currently in Thailand. Mm-hmm. He's been there for about two and a half weeks. He just came out with another video that I know me and Rain are going to cover later in next week. He's going to be possibly extending his stay. So we're going to talk about both parts, right? Because this, if you notice, our topic of tonight, our main topic says the West has it all wrong. So he's kind of spoke on that as well, right? About the fast pace of how we live here in America, in the U.S., in the States. He talked about just how stress levels and things of that nature due to like keeping up with the Joneses and the fast pace of life. But I want to start off first with the first comment he made. He started off with the comment about women in the pretty much the restaurant environment that he's been in there, being more patient, being very nice, not being rude. And we have to point out, because he did use a race. He didn't say just restaurants in America. He said, man, those people in Atlanta, man, especially on black women that be rude. And like he literally pointed out what he didn't like and the race that he pointed out. So we have to talk about it. Not saying that, we're not judging, but we have to talk about that. So how do you feel about that first, Rain, about him speaking about his experiences in Atlanta, for example, where he lives, and him talking about the Thai women compared to the African American women? How do you, or just women in general, however you want to?
Yeah, I so when we're in these positions of service, we have to be polite. We're providing services to somebody. So I get the women in Thailand being not overly, but being polite and open to providing services. I think that us in America, we're so used to having those services, like everything at our fingertips, boom, boom. Everything's so like he said, everything's so fast, and in doing so, when somebody's providing a service, you essentially owe me something because I'm paying for my service. And some of those people providing the service, i.e., Black women or any other service person, that waitress or anybody providing service, that feels that we owe, as a consumer, we owe them something. And I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. Those people in those service field positions get it wrong, is that the consumer owe them something. I don't owe you anything. I owe you to be paid for a great service that you should be providing me. So I think that's where a lot of people in those service positions really don't want to be in those positions. You have to have a heart of servitude in order to be successful in those positions, as somebody providing services to somebody else. So, and a lot of people in that industry, they really don't provide great service. They have a funky attitude. They really don't want to be there. And a lot of times, those women who do, or servers or anybody providing a service, they're just there for the paycheck. They're not there for the satisfaction of being a server, being somebody who has that heart, that servitude heart. And in Thailand, I would not hope to, or I would not want to think that those women providing those services are doing so because he's American and they want him to come back. I'm hoping that that's their personality and how they really treat everyone there, regardless if they're Thai or American or not, So that's.
So I definitely agree with what you're saying, and I just want to give you another thought process when you think about like the Thai people, or for those who do know, I did 20 years and I traveled the world. I had a lot of these experiences for the Philippines, Korea, things of that nature. With that being said, these other countries are also in a rat race. It just looks a little different, right? With that being said, right, American male like myself could go over to Thailand, get me a woman who seems like she does everything right, cater to you, rub your feet, rub your back, make you all your meals every day, doing everything for you, right? Then you can get that lady back to the States, and she starts to see that it's a million souls. And it looks a little different, guys, because this is what we see in the military a lot, especially officers. When I was in the Air Force, a lot of Air Force officers, like doctors and all the lawyers and all that stuff, they would go overseas and they would come back with a Filipino or a lady from the Philippines or a lady from Thailand or things of that nature. And a lot of them would get to the States and want more. Because over there, though, like over there, he's living a good life, right? Because they have a long game at the end of the day. it's a long game, right? They see a million American men, but they also see a lot of American men who eventually takes their sister or their mom or their aunt or their back to the States and give them what they might consider a better life. I think what we're really missing in MTR's message about the service and the whole combination of everything is these other countries understand how great our freedoms are that we don't respect today. Like, they're trying to get to the freedoms we have, so they're making the best out of their situation. But we're so blinded about our freedoms that we have and the luxuries we have that we just make it worse, right? We spend more, the economy goes up. The economy and all this stuff only goes up because we continue to spend. I always told people, I remember doing when I was in DC and everybody started talking about the first gas prices when COVID and all that stuff happened, everything went up. And I told everybody, I said, y'all know we can make the gas prices go down very quickly. They're like, what you mean? I said, just stop going to get gas, just stop driving. Don't go to work. We could shut down and change the whole world overnight. That's how powerful we are as people. And that's what we do when we go to another country. Like, if y'all watch his stuff, he's talking about Thailand prices, right? The prices are low for our American dollar, right? But what do most Americans do when something's cheap? You become more of a giver.
Yeah.
Oh, that smoothie only $2. I'm gonna tip you. I usually pay $15 in the States, so you'll give somebody a $10 equivalent tip. So they're actually making more by posing or positioning lower prices, right? Because this happens a lot overseas, like a lot. Like when I was in Korea, when you can get those replica jerseys and stuff for $20. So instead of buying one jersey, you'll go in the store and buy jerseys for your whole family and send them back home.
Yeah.
Well, you walked in for a jersey that was $20, but you went out of the store with $500 worth of jerseys. They made their day's worth. Like, so it's just a very unique mindset. But they are super sweet overseas. I'll give them that. Super sweet. They do treat you like you're an athlete or a celebrity. I think that's what a lot of men look for, just that catering aspect of the women that are over there. I think everybody in life wants to be served. So when you go to a first place that serves you, it just looks a little different. You know what I mean? So, but now I want to move off of that part about the women. I appreciate your information on that. The second thing I would like to talk about is him talking about like pretty much the stress levels that America brings onto us that makes us pretty much almost die fast. Stress, cholesterol, high blood pressure, try to keep up with the Joneses.
Cortisol levels.
Yeah. So what is your thoughts about that?
I think in America we're so fast paced. We want everything now. And with the advances in technology and everything that we have here, we have too many options. A place like Thailand, they don't have that many options. They live a simplistic life. They don't we see all these influencers and these big brands and these fast cars and luxury this, luxury that. We don't enjoy the simplicities of life. We could really be living great lives, but we're so concerned about keeping up with the Joneses. And I think over there in Thailand, they're not concerned about that. They go on about their day. And they're riding mopeds and they're walking and they don't have no street lights, no traffic lights or traffic lights, not street lights, but they're moving at their own pace over there. We have to be governed in a way, here. Not, and I'm not talking about government, but we got to be.
That's what speed limits do. A speed limit is a governing system.
Yeah, it's a governing system. We have to be governed. So over there is different. I'm not saying that they don't have government structure on that back end, judicial and all that, but everything we do over here is governed. They don't have that. From what I've seen, They don't have that in Thailand. They don't have like a governed system where they have traffic signals, and it just seems like their pace is slower than what we're used to seeing here. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And they enjoy life more, the
they do.
simplicity of life.
They do.
You know?
But I think the biggest thing too is one of the things I notice overseas is that you know who your enemies are, and you don't have to worry about the people who are living around you. Like, for instance, right, South Korea and North Korea don't get along.
Mhm.
But you know what the North Koreans look like, you know where they are, and you know where the South Koreans, like, they're not crossing into each other's areas. Like in the States, you don't know what your enemy looks like no more, because they can look like your best friend and stab you in the back the next day. So it just looks so different. Like our enemy looks different here compared to theirs. Like, but yeah, I do want to ask this question because we are going to cover him a little bit more. Myself and Rain going to cover a lot of his content he recently dropped later this week. I think MTR is not coming back.
Just from the 2 videos I watched, he seemed so, and two, from the one that I watched, I've consumed his other content as well, because I do like his views on a lot of things that he's put out. But especially before he got where he is now, like money wise, he said he had a Nissan Altima and he was cool with it, you know. So he's a simplistic person. So he's in his element. You know, being over here in Atlanta, when he moved to Atlanta from New York, he's seen all these other options. So he's like, oh, let me get the car that he has now. Let me get that car. But he was cool with the Altima. He's cool in a plain t-shirt and some shorts and probably some just regular Nikes, and not, you know, overly expensive things. You have to, even though he's been exposed to the culture, exposed to brand names and labels and whatnot, that's not who he is. He's a simple person. And I think that he'll flourish mentally more over there than he will in Atlanta. Atlanta is probably suffocating him. And when he's yearning for that simplistic nature, you know, so I can appreciate that about him.
And Rain, I would like you to think about it from this standpoint too. I think MTR fell into a realm that a lot of people don't get to. Mm-hmm. Once you get wealth and you see that the world doesn't change, it looks different. You see what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's not just going to another country. He's going to another country where his pockets are longer, because it's cheaper, less stress, and he doesn't have to keep up with nobody.
Nope.
Like, he has nothing to compare his day to but what he wants to compare his day to. And I think it's very unique that I always tell people, like, wealth doesn't change things. Wealth just shows you a little bit more. Just shows you a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, so I always tell people that all the time. It's like, wealth doesn't change those things, guys. You got to keep up with what's going on and what's going on in the times, man. So Rain, I'm gonna let you read these comments, and then we're gonna move on to the tea for the night.
Woo. Tristan said he's not wrong. However, it's the entire industry. If you're not spending a large amount of money, they take it out on you. I agree. Miles said there's also a stigma about New Yorkers. He should be used to it. Oh, yeah, definitely. Tristan said, facts, Miles. Hey, Ruth said NYC folks have a rep of being rude and obnoxious. And Norma Jaquez, welcome in. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit like, make sure you share it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. She said, nope. All right, then, Norma. Miles said, people return the same energy given most times.
See that.
Tristan said, and that's why I think you should keep them in the environment culture that maintains the purest form of their femininity. Hey, Ruth said, a lot of U.S. servicemen from the Vietnam era stayed over there in Thailand and other Asian countries. Yeah.
Big facts.
Mm-hmm. Tristan said, economics 101. And too deep with the eyes. Hey, Ruth said, if everybody buy and rent scooters, mopeds, and bicycles. Yeah. And Too Deep said, prices are going up because the exposure over in Thailand.
That's what I said in 2D. That's why I said I would never move there if I had to move somewhere.
Tristan said, yeah, I remember the prices increased in the Philippines for a minute. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Too Deep said, what's up, Tristan Lewis? Apologies for not saying sup. And Miles, you too. And Miles said that jersey was probably made in Asia. And Too Deep said, I lost so much weight in Thailand because I walked everywhere. Yeah. Tristan said, I think he should stay over there. Robot Eater, he's back.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah. He said, a loser here is a loser everywhere.
I wouldn't call him a loser, though. I don't know if you're talking about him.
No. Tristan said, no worries, In Too Deep. In Too Deep said, what's the name of the show? You referring to his show? I don't know for sure. It's his last 2 or 3 videos he just uploaded, if you're talking about MTR. Hey, Ruth said, wealth money is an amplifier.
Yeah.
Tristan said, I went back to St. Lucia from New York. It's just different.
Big facts, man. So shout out to y'all on the MTR. Like I said, me and Rain will be breaking that down later on this week. Ty J's show.
Ty J's. I don't know. This show is called Same Roots, Different Soil.
Oh yeah, Same Roots, Different Soil.
Roots, Different Soil.
Just put it in the chat form, Rain. So we're gonna move on, y'all, to the main topic of tonight, still falling under the culture under fire.